Welcome back, everyone, to this Illumination English lesson on comprehending cryptocurrency. We are going to be focusing in this lesson on the vocabulary from the article that we read together in part 1. So if you didn't see that yet, go back and watch that first. Now, as we did in our previous video lesson, we're going to be looking at the words from the article as they appear in the same order they appear in the article. So it'll be easier for you to follow. And we are going to look at the definitions first and then how that word could be used in a sentence. Could be a similar context or something different. Okay, but I want you to see the words in context. That will be important for you, I think, also when you are creating your own sentences, so you can have a model sentence, give you more maybe confidence when you're trying to think of how to make a sentence with one of these words or phrases. All right, our first word is legal tender. And let's get our pointer here. Okay, so legal tender refers to any kind of money, coins, currency that's legal, right? That's legally issued by a governing body. Okay, usually a bank under the authority of a government. Okay, so tender, legal tender refers to the actual currency. Let's see how it's used in a sentence. All right, so we have in the United States, we have our treasury here, as all countries do, the treasury where their reserves and their money is printed. Okay, so our U.S. Treasury here, the U.S. Treasury has established the dollar as legal tender for payment of any monetary debt. Okay, so in any country, whatever your dollar is, okay, we have the US dollar. Other countries have their paper and coin money. So whatever that is that's established, legally established by the government, can be considered legal tender. And now, as you'll see on each slide at the bottom here, I've got a space just to remind you, okay, that this is where you could write your own sentence. Okay, this is just a little something to maybe inspire you, jog your memory. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be making sentences here. Okay, so get your paper and pen out, or whatever you're, however you're dealing with this, writing down your sentences. Maybe you're doing it on an iPad or something. But you can try as we go along. Okay, you can always pause the video and try to make your own sentence. Yeah, using my sentence as a model. Let's go on to our next word. Okay, here's a phrase, actually. It's on the horizon. Okay, we all know what a horizon is, right? That's where the land meets the sky. So you look out on the horizon where the land meets the sky. And so we use that expression to talk about something that's nearby, approaching, something that's imminent. Okay, all of these are good. This imminent especially is a good, more higher, more academic level English synonym for this verb phrase, on the horizon. Let's see how it's used in a sentence. All right, economic disaster. Here's the subject. Economic disaster for the small developing country was looming on the horizon. And we have a good verb here. The word looming means to appear kind of in a vague or shadowy way. Usually definitely ominous, negative. Okay, in any context, you'll see this word looming. It's something bad is going to happen. And I guess if it's on the horizon, that means it's going to happen fairly soon. Let's go to our next word. All right, so we have here a prepositional phrase, in the dark. So it's a place, you could say, or maybe a state of being. Okay. More accurately, a state of being. In this case, a state of ignorance, of unknowing, of being uninformed about something. Let's look at how it's used in the sentence. I'm in the dark when it comes to economic and financial news. Okay, so if you don't know much about the economy, finances, things like that, okay, you could say, wow, I'm in the dark about that. I don't know much about that. Or maybe I'm totally ignorant about that. All right, so however you use this in a sentence, it has to mean you don't know about something. All right, let's go to our next word. Okay, and here it is, a word. Okay, we have just one word here, skeptical. The adjective is skeptical. It means you don't believe something. Yeah, you're not convinced. You're doubting. Another good, more academic level word, a little higher level English, would be incredulous. So we see the word credo, which is Latin for believe. So incredulous, unbelieving. Let's see how it's used in a sentence. All right. People are often skeptical about the quality of GMO foods. In case you aren't familiar with this acronym, genetically modified organisms. Okay, so food that's been somehow genetically modified to increase the production, usually to create more of it. And there has been some controversy surrounding the quality or exactly what's in GMOs. Is kind of mysterious for some people, unless, of course, you're a food scientist. But some people are skeptical about things they don't know about. All right, so you can use this word skeptical to say that you doubt something. You're a little, unbelieving about something. On to our next word. Aha, here it is, a word too. Panacea, a thing. Okay, so this is a solution, a kind of a cure-all, a solution or a resolution to some difficulty. It's often used for illnesses too, in that context, medical context. Let's see how it's used here in this sentence. Okay, it's also about ills too, but societal ills. Okay, not necessarily physical medical ills. Let's read the sentence together. Education is not a panacea for all the ills of society. Right? Certainly, education is important. It's an important aspect of anyone's life. You have to have a certain level of education to advance in life, at least to be able to read and write. So it's beneficial. It's beneficial for the people in a society, in a given society, but we can't say it's a cure-all. So even in countries where people might be well educated or fairly well educated, generally speaking, there could be still many societal ills or things that are wrong in society, things that are going wrong in society. All right, that's one usage of the word panacea. Let's go to our next word. Here we have a proponent, and here we have the word pro. So we know if it's a Latin prefix meaning for or in favor of. Okay, so just the word opponent without the pro in front would be against. An opponent is someone who is against you, like in a game. Your opponent is the person that you are playing against, you are up against. Okay, a proponent is someone who is for something, who favors a particular idea or thing. Let's see how it's used in this sentence. Okay, here, let's read it together. The proponents of climate change passed new green legislation in the Senate. All right, so people who are in favor of, or who support in some way the idea of climate change, perhaps these are people that work in the legislature of a particular governing body in a country. So they passed some legislation. We call this green, anything that supports the environmental causes of our day gets this label green. Okay, so green technology, green vacations, right? If you want to take a vacation that's out in the wilderness somewhere, kind of an eco-friendly vacation, you might call it a green vacation. So this word green denotes anything that's environmentally friendly, eco-friendly. All right, let's go to our next word. Okay, 2 words here. So we have money, of course, a type of money, but fiat is the type of money. So it's a currency that is not backed by a commodity. In the past, of course, all currencies had their value based on the value of whatever gold or silver, some precious item. And in different countries and different cultures throughout time, this has been different. For instance, in Central American countries or South American countries, turquoise was considered the gold standard, we'll call it. That was the most precious substance. And so according to that, the value of that, other things would take their value. Okay, so fiat money, this is the money that we have nowadays. Our currency is not backed by gold, by the gold standard anymore. Let's see how it's used in a sentence. The supply and demand of fiat money determines the value of currency. Okay, so instead of gold or some commodity determining the value of the currency, it's the supply and demand of money in circulation. Interesting. Yes, I'm learning a lot from this lesson on comprehending cryptocurrency. I'm learning about different kinds of currencies, and I hope you are too. Let's go to our next word, which is mainstream. Okay, if something is mainstream, we have a compound word here. It's something that's common, main, normal, usual, mainstream. That the stream is not like a river stream. You have to read the whole word together. So if you see this word mainstream, it's something that that is common for most people, you could say, in a society. Okay, maybe it's the common public opinion about something. It could be like a dominant trend. But whatever it is, it's normal. Everybody does it, knows about it. All right, let's see how it's used in a sentence. Most conservative political pundits are critical of the mainstream media. Okay, so now we're using mainstream as an adjective to describe media. So this could be television, radio, internet, any kind of printed or electronic media that's used to disseminate information. So conservative political pundits are often critical of this mainstream media. I guess they believe that you can't always believe what you see or hear. All right, so there's that one usage of it. Let's go to our next word. Actually 2 words here. We have blockchain technology. Now, I'm not an expert in cryptocurrency or blockchain technology. I tried to find the simplest definition I could. And this is what I came up with. If I'm wrong, please send me a comment. Type in the comment, okay, if you are an expert in this area and you know, if you think my definition of blockchain technology is inaccurate, please give me the correct definition. Okay, but this is what I came up with after a lot of research. So blockchain technology is a cryptographic shared platform, a cryptographic meaning, of course, it's encoded somehow for security purposes. And it's shared, it's in common shared platform that allows users to record and maintain data in a decentralized place. So that means it's unregulated. Decentralized. It's not controlled by any particular country or government or bank. All right. So let's see how it's used in the sentence now. Okay. Here we have governments are using blockchain technology to ensure election transparency and reduce voter fraud. This is an interesting usage. Yeah, I got this actually by just looking around on the internet to find different usages of this blockchain technology. So it's not only used in the field of, or in the area of cryptocurrency. This kind of technology can be used for other purposes, for elections, for instance, to prevent voter fraud, to make sure that elections, to ensure the integrity of elections. So that's a good usage. Let's go to our next word here. Oh, this is our last one on the list. Okay. Scoffed at, or to scoffed at. So you can scoff at someone. It can be active or passive. You can be scoffed at by someone. Okay, so scoffed at is to show, right, contempt or kind of, well, mockery. I have ridicule. There's another good word, a more high level, perhaps academic level word, ridicule. So anytime you show kind of, not necessarily hatred, but just kind of disgust or contempt for something, you would scoff at it. It also denotes a kind of disbelief, a bit of skepticism involved in scoffing. All right, let's see how it's used in a sentence. His unconventional proposal was scoffed at by the board of directors. Okay, so let's say you work for an advertising agency and you're putting together a campaign. You've got a proposal. You're ready to present it to the board of directors to see what they think. Okay, if it's something that's really unconventional, means definitely not mainstream. Okay, totally maybe new, unusual in some way. If it's too unusual, it won't be accepted. Okay, so these people on the board of directors would scoff at it. Okay, they might even laugh. All right, that's our word list for this, for part 2 of this video lesson on comprehending cryptocurrency. Stick around now for our knowledge check in part 3, and we'll see you there.